Okay, so welcome everybody to Tactics and Touchline YouTube. Today we are doing a new section that is Touchline Trends. And Touchline Trends, we are talking more about what is going on the football world. On this show, we are talking about AFCON. And why we are having an AFCON conversation is because Jamie Carragher, who is a Liverpool legend, I'll be asking Raf if he's really a Liverpool legend or not. And he passed the comment on the AFCON not being a major competition because he feels like if Mohamed Salah is to win the AFCON, it doesn't put any stamp on his Ballon d'Or shout, which it brought up a whole lot of conversation. I think on that show, Michael Richards told him that no, AFCON is a major tournament. There were some people on the show that mentioned AFCON being a major tournament. And after the show, we know there have been a whole lot of situations about the AFCON. And it brought up an idea of what happened during the last AFCON we played in Ivory Coast. So I'm going to go through some of the numbers that was able to generate for that AFCON. And after that, we'll look at it as, was it a major competition or not? So firstly, let's look at the YouTube videos. It got 2.2 billion views across all platforms. Less impressions were 2.1 billion. That was impressions. TikTok video views got 3.6 billion. Instagram got 12.5 million. Then if we are looking at the channels that came on board, Canal, BBC's, that is Sky Sports, and even New World TV, if we are looking at the attendance in total was 1.2 million people attended. Then their website, that's the CAF website, generated 8 million page views and 2.6 million new users coming onto the platform to watch. The most exciting part is this. New markets that was being generated for the competition was 13. Brazil led with 22 million people trying to look up for the AFCON. India, 8.5 million. Italy, 22 million. And Russia, 1.1 million. And if you are to look at in total, from the previous AFCON, that was in 2021, down to the 2023, if you are looking at the total number of TV partnership they got, the previous AFCON in 2021 got 68, and the one in Ivory Coast got 110. Is this not numbers for a major competition? As I want to find out, let's look at it from the aspect of we Africans, have we not been able to sell our story that much? That is why we get Europeans, other continents calling our competition no major. Secondly, our players respecting the competition enough, because it seems like our players are not giving them much respect to the competition. That is why we are getting other people downplaying the competition we play. And AFCON is the oldest among all other international competitions. So let me start with Raf. With Jamie Carragher passing this comment, there's been a whole lot of backlash on one. He hasn't won a major trophy before, so there shouldn't be any news about him even passing a comment like this. Because if you have to stand record, he has won nothing with England. When it comes to Liverpool, he has won 0 league titles with Liverpool. So the Champions League and other major competitions he has been able to win. Jose Mourinho, we talked about earlier, passed the comments that he is one of the players. If he's to list 1,000 defenders, he's not part. And he always passes comments to make players, teams, and also competitions feel bad. He being a legend, that's why I said I'll confirm from you. Do you classify him one as a legend of the Liverpool setup? Or he's just a player who passed through the Liverpool system?
Okay. I'll start by saying that when we say a legend, who is a legend? I mean, someone who has done something significant for the club, has won laurels for the club, has done great things for the team. But it's very unfortunate that when Carragher was in his prime playing for Liverpool, he couldn't win certain trophies, even including our own Steven Gerrard. I mean, when we talk about Steven Gerrard, we can make mention of the 2005 Champions League. Aside that, even our own Steven Gerrard, who is also a legend, has not won a lot of trophies like the league titles. I mean, when we talk about Frank Lampard, we can mention the league titles and all those things. But as for Carragher, yes, it will be, if we say bitter truth, I mean, he's not in that class as a Liverpool legend who we are mentioning. It's very unfortunate that he couldn't win some trophies for Liverpool to be classified as well. Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah.
But let's look at from the aspect of he calling AFCON not a major trophy. Do you think sometimes the whites have this type of racial feeling within them that they see Africans as people who don't really get closer when it comes to football? And that is why we see comments like this. And I don't think he's the only one having that particular thought in his mind. There are other people there that feels like the African continent, whatever comes from there, isn't good. And I want to ask this question. We Africans as a whole, have we been able to sell ourselves so well to the Europeans that they should give much respect to us?
Yes, I think until recently, the numbers you just gave us were just from the last African Cup of Nations. But the previous ones we had, it didn't get these numbers. But gradually we are getting there. But AFCON is a major tournament. If the Euros is a major tournament, similarly, the African Cup of Nations is also a major tournament. Carragher has been roasted this week. People have said a lot of things about him negatively and all those things. But let's ask some few questions. I mean, when we talk about a continent doing well, what makes a continent really being talked about? Mostly it's when all the countries come together in playing just a single tournament like the Mundial, that is the World Cup.
Yeah.
I would personally say that AFCON is way ahead of the Copa America. But just that the Copa America has the two teams or two countries that when you mention the South Americans, we know that everybody will make mention of Argentina and Brazil. These are teams that have won the World Cup before. An African team maybe is about to get to that stage of even getting to the World Cup final. And gradually we are getting there. But as we said earlier, I mean, our own people denigrated the tournament. I quite remember when Crepin Diatta was playing for Senegal, Africans made a mockery of him that he looked like a monkey. Yeah. If you could remember that post.
Yeah.
Our own people were chastising our fellow black man. So in a way, we created our own problem for ourselves. And to the extent that now they don't respect our tournament. AFCON is a major tournament. It's a very big tournament. But Carragher said, Mo Salah winning the AFCON doesn't necessarily mean that he can win the Ballon d'Or. That is his opinion. But I'm of the fact that AFCON is a major tournament, and just that we have not taken good care of our games, or we have not, promoted our game to that level. We are now getting to see the importance of promoting our game. That is why we are getting these numbers. When there are people who come from other countries to come and watch a tournament in a particular country. They don't come there for anything. They come there to see some individual players. I can tell you when Egypt is playing at the next AFCON, there will be fans there to just watch Mohamed Salah play. There will be fans to watch Omar Mamouche. There will be fans to watch Sadio Mane. There will be fans to watch. We have every player and the kind of people they draw closer to them, or the kind of spectators they draw to the stadium. Not only about, we can see the last AFCON we played. You see Cape Verde playing beautiful football. There are countries in South America that I can tell you Cape Verde can match them boot for boot. But AFCON is a major tournament in my opinion. Carragher is still standing by what he said. I was reading his post recently. He was trying to explain why he said that, and he's not even listening to what they are saying. He's trying to make his point valid. So all I can say is that Salah has won everything at club level. Salah winning the AFCON for Egypt will give him a complete cabinet whereby he can be able to boost as a top player in the world currently.
Okay. So, Prince, let's look at this comment from Carragher. And it brings me to this issue concerning a player like Thomas Partey. There were times we were looking at him coming to the Black Stars to play, but there were issues from the Arsenal camp that he's sick. Black Stars had to even tell him to come to do like a checkup to see if really he's injured or sick. Then he returns, and he declined coming to Ghana to pass those tests. Do you think sometimes our players make the journalists, the big sports personalities feel like in Africa there is nothing good or there is nothing competitive or exciting when they come here to play? So that is why Thomas Partey's issue came up. And if Carragher is bringing up an issue like this, you should know that they don't just sit down and just come up with something. We ourselves make them feel like there is nothing good here. Maybe the pitches are not good. The competition is not exciting. There is nothing good. So they don't want to come. what do you think? Are the players to be blamed also for issues like this coming up?
Yes, I think honestly, some of the players have not put up a good example when it comes to representing Africa. You get it. I really don't blame Carragher too much, because this is just from one person. We can pick up to 2 or 3 people who don't have value for the AFCON. When you look at the owner of Napoli, there's the time he said that he's not going to sign any African player aside Osimhen, because he can sign a player who will leave in the middle of the season just to go and play a tournament somewhere and come back. You understand?
Yeah.
So we've ridiculed the tournament, even with the way we do our call-ups here in Africa, where a player will be outside, they're waiting for a call-up in an European country. When he doesn't get a chance, then he now falls on Africa. We look at Ghana. Look at Ghana. The way we do our call-ups, we'll go and hear an Owusu in Afghanistan. Then we'll go and call an Owusu. Whilst the Europeans don't build their talents that way. You get what I'm saying? We trivialize our even look at our pitches. Look at who our pitches are. We don't invest into our football. We don't invest into our sports. It is for the past 2 AFCONs that you can see growth. You can see proper management. You can see that things are getting better. Because you can win a tournament, and the money you are getting at the end of the tournament, you realize that teams even invest more into winning a trophy than the money that comes out of it. So they sit back. I'm sure they sit back over there and be like, this is what are they that serious? So I believe AFCON is a big tournament, preferably how we treat it. It's not about saying it that it's a big tournament. It is how we treat the tournament that will make it big. You get it? So it's not just about saying that it's a big tournament. It could be a big tournament with regards to how we treat the tournament. You get it? Because players feel like when they come, when they play, when they get injured, they are not being treated well. When they come, there is juju and all those things. We attach so much superstition to our beliefs and our norms here. So it doesn't help. So I believe it's from us, not even from Carragher. That we should blame ourselves.
Okay. So Sam,
before you go to Sam, can I chip something in?
Okay, you can chip something.
Even if UEFA respected us enough, us enough, and whoever our CAF president is also had our game at heart, they won't make us play our AFCON in the middle of a season.
Yes. But I think with that, it's more about the weather issue, because they are looking at mostly during the June-July time in Africa, there's a lot of rains and ups and downs. So they shifted it to January, and I think this time it will be played off-season, which they are looking at. And I don't like the idea of we changing it every time. It's like today we are on off-season, we are in between the season. It's like UEFA is looking at if there is, because this time in June, July, there is a FIFA Club World Cup game going on. So they can't play during that time. They need to play it in off-season, which has been something that has been a problem. But I want to also find out, especially with Sam, has CAF really disappointed Africans? Because this AFCON that was played in Ivory Coast, I know people like closer to me that went to that AFCON, and they are always saying good things about the competition. From how Ivory Coast was being eliminated, they getting back into the competition and coming to win. Don't you think CAF should at least had a documentary, maybe had a plan with Netflix, Hulu TV, any of these TV channels, have a full documentary on the AFCON, and we have a story to tell? So today, if Carragher is talking about the AFCON not being a major competition, we can fall on, okay, when you check on Netflix, it's one of the most watched maybe episode or one of the most watched series on the Netflix channel. This would have even driven a lot of attention to our competition. But CAF, after the competition, didn't have anything. It was just recently we saw that the numbers, people complaining about it not being a major trophy. And we are seeing a lot of numbers now being shown because we feel like we need to put out the numbers there. So do you think CAF has disappointed Africans, especially when it comes to this competition?
Okay, I think for that issue, it's in two sides. It falls on two different sides. It's one, how we see and how we treat it also. I think even if CAF had done all this and the outside media don't really see it as big as it is, it was still wouldn't make any difference. If Carragher had played well as he's talking now, I'm sure the fans would have seen him as a legend, but he's talking more than he actually played. I think for AFCON it's a major league. Let's not. It's a big league for us, and for something to be special, it begins with us seeing it as special. We are Africa as a continent. We are still developing in so many things. I think we can name so many factors that go strong in our football system. Even here in Ghana, we can list thousands of things that are going wrong. I think for where we are now, we shouldn't be having issues with coverages, TV coverages. I think stadiums, security-wise, all these things. Last African Cup, there were issues of plane delays, this and that. I think we should focus more on projecting the positive side of Cup. You know, as you said earlier, at times we are our own devils. We like posting the bad things because we feel like it sells more. But if we are able to project the good side, we let's not just ballot because it's for everyone to play or everyone to post. Let's look at where and when, if it's being played or posted, will be appealing to the world as it is. It's not about win or not win. Listen, England hasn't won any major trophy for as long as I can remember. But we still watch their matches and still go there and still even regard the FIFA the Nations Cup as a major something. I hardly watch Copa America. If you ask me to name some of, apart from let's say Brazil, Argentina, I don't really see the interest in watching most of their games. But listen, African Cup, there is this joy when we watch African Cup. It's ours. No matter how they will try to project that issue, it's ours, and we value it. Mo Salah deserves the Ballon d'Or in as much as every player who is playing very well deserves it. CAF has to do more. That one, yes, we agree that CAF has to do a general cleansing for all the teams that participate in the African Cup. The players also have to see the value of them playing in the African Cup, because it's not just it. I think at times it's money-wise. Listen, he'll come and play on a bad pitch, get hurt, and you will
go back to the club. Yes.
Yeah, so I think we as we are all complaining about this, we have to also check ourselves first. Fix this thing, fix our pitches, try and project the African Cup, the positive side of it. And listen, if they don't see it as a major league or a major competition, to us, yes, that's our World Cup and our major competition. So yes, we'll give it that regard each and every day. Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at in the next AFCON coming up in Morocco, maybe a minute each. What should CAF do to make sure that we send this message across to the Europeans, to everybody around the world, that AFCON is something they need to come and watch? It's something that produces quality players. It's something that the world needs to look at. And they can even classify it as, after the World Cup, is the next major international trophy everybody looks. What do you think are some of the things CAF needs to input into the next AFCON to sell out a good message about it being a major tournament? What do you think we need to put in to make AFCON one of the major tournaments after the World Cup?
So, personally, I think we should just get the basis right. We should just get the basis right. We should just invest in the right quarters. You understand? So, if it's business, when you're doing a business, one area you need to invest more is into how you brand and publish your destiny. I think they should get good cameras. You understand? They should get good cameras. Some of these The reason why we like to watch the EPLs is the branding. They've branded the EPL very well. You understand? There are times that the cameras even go into the dressing room. There was a day I was watching the Brighton, the camera went into the dressing room. You understand? The dressing room looks good. Before Chelsea plays a match, they take a shot of the dressing room, what the players are doing. We should brand it very well. You understand? And the cameras, there are times you're watching an AFCON and there are scratches. I'm like, a live match. You're watching a live match and there are scratches. You just don't get it. So they should just invest into the basics and we are good to go.
Okay. Sam, do you think it's time we need to also bring on influencers? Someone like the Fabricios, because we've seen recently in this with Michael Richards, Carragher, and Henry.
Yeah.
In their last Champions League program, they brought in Speed on there. And we could know that Speed coming on there brings a lot of numbers to the particular show. So do you think in the next AFCON, CAF needs to look at, okay, on would bring a lot of influence. So let's say a Fabricio into the tournament, he now gets direct tweets, even direct videos from some of the content being shared on them. And do you think it will be a good advantage for the African football in Morocco?
Yes. Bringing all these guys on board, yes, will sell us out very well. But I think by now, Fabrizio should even know that it's a big tournament for him to also dive in, because listen, Africa is a big market. We really like our football and we invest in it. Let's look it from this aspect. If you bring all these people in, there will surely be a comment somewhere, people saying, why didn't we use our own African influence? And they will surely say, they will surely mention names that, listen, we should bring our own African influences. So I think we should find a way to bring some of them also inside. Even football, it's a whole way on its own. At times we go back to even still watch the Pandex talk. You get so I think it's we should find ways to make it interesting all around. We select it as much as we can. CAF should also take a look of officiating. I think it's been one of our major issues also. We should
but I think
really have good
not to cut you, I think the AFCON was with, especially when it came to like using of VAR, the AFCON was one of the best tournaments VAR was being used. And that is also something the CAF management, their board, they should have sold that thing out to the Europeans, that you brought up this VAR thing, but we've been able to use it properly on our continent than you people use it, because there were comments from a lot of Europeans saying, okay, VAR has been used so well in Africa, but after the tournament, we couldn't sell this out. This would have been an opportunity for some of our referees to even get opportunities to even officiate in some games outside. But we just, after the tournament, we just close the curtains about it and just let everything go. So, Raf, I want to find out, do you think sometimes our players are also at fault? Because we know when AFCON is coming out, there's a FIFA rule that says that clubs should release their players at least 2 weeks to the tournament. And we get competitions where Mohamed Salah has to play one game for Liverpool, maybe against Manchester City, before coming to the AFCON. We get players looking at, okay, let me play this game. After the game next week, I'll come and join you people, even on the tournament.
Even Onana.
Yes, Onana did something similar, where he was even not used at that particular game. Do you think it's something that... Yes. Do you think that is also something that makes the Europeans feel like, okay, if your tournament is that great, you wouldn't say you want to play a game before even going, but you are happy getting that call-up. So do you think our players also needs to be blamed very well about this thing?
100%. 100%. I mean, we're talking about how our game will projected higher to be ranked among maybe the European championships and all. Yeah. Our individual players have a big role to play. When I say our individual players have a big role to play in terms of their performances in maybe in their various clubs, like how good they are in their various clubs, because your performance is what draws spectators for them to come and see you play. If Cape Verde is playing against Burkina Faso, I am telling you that stadium might not be full to capacity. For example, we have Egypt playing against, let's say, Senegal. You just can imagine the number of people who will be on that stadium watching Mo Salah and the Sadio Manes and all. We have to do better. Now, when it comes to Morocco organizing this tournament, I don't have a problem. Morocco organizing this AFCON, I don't have a problem. They are the closest we can have when it comes to them matching up with the Europeans in terms of facilities. Morocco have proper facilities. If what we saw on TV might be accurate, they have proper facilities, and I don't have a problem when it comes to the pitch and everything. They know what to do. For them, I trust them. But I'm saying that our own people, our own players should also do their best. They should have their country at heart. When these Egyptians are playing, I can tell you, when Egypt is playing, they play with 120%. They give their all. They don't tell, no. There was a time a journalist in Egypt criticized Liverpool for not allowing Mo Salah to come earlier. He told the journalist that the Egyptian national team is more important, to the extent that we, even the fans, had a problem. We were doing our things, and he's our player and all. But they told the Liverpool team that the Mo Salah is for them, and he has to come and do whatever he's supposed to do for the national team. As we are saying, our players themselves don't feel very too good playing for their national teams because of one or two issues. Of course, remember when Ghana went to the World Cup, this money issue, when John Boy kissed the dollar and all. There was a documentary about this. John Boy kissing dollar. There was a documentary on this. So if you do this, how do you expect others to come and also patronize you? We want to sell our continent to the outside world. And there are lots of things which are not done properly. I think the number one thing is commitment. Our players must be committed to the cause. As of now, we have players like Anthony Semenyo and all thinking if they will come or not. If I'm talking about Ghana. Okay, so I'm saying that our players should do their best by representing their countries, telling their club sides, look, I have to represent my country and do better. If Ghana should have qualified for this tournament and Inaki Williams is playing for Ghana, I am telling you, there were some Spanish media people or the Spanish fans who also try and see how their boy is playing. So it depends on how the player is performing in his individual club. If you are doing well and you come to the national side, your fans will also come and then see you play. So we should try our best and then project our continent in a very, very positive way.